Good morning or afternoon, depending on what time you are listening to this podcast, and welcome to yet another episode of Do Geese Have Udders, the show where we ask the unanswered and answer the unasked, looking at news and online stuff too. I'm Michael Gooch, and as always, I'm joined by my good friend Matthew Thompson. You right, Matt?
Milk a goose.
Good. Then let's start the show.
Michael!
Hey, Matt, it's me.
Do you know what time it is?
It is time for a fact folder.
Yeah!
Woo!
But I might pick one.
Oh,
Actually,
you've never done this
or
before.
should I
Then
just
do-
do a random?
Well, I'm not going to look at the cards, but do you want to give me the whole pile and then you can pick one out of them? And you can do
Yeah,
and
sure,
I'll,
sure.
I'll do the fan thing that you usually do. Let's have a look. So,
The cool thing, if any of this stuff is from Instagram or... Well, I'll say Twitter, but I don't use Twitter. It's probably so out of date that we don't even remember it.
There we go. Do you want to pick one of these?
I'll take a green
cards
one.
for your fact
Ooh,
folder?
oops.
Do you want to read it or do you want me to read it? Well, you can probably understand your writing better than I can.
Oh, I think these are... Yeah, I'll read them. I believe this green one is actually opinions.
Opinions?
Yeah, so I'll read the first one.
Okay.
Can we replace teachers with computers?
I think they need to be... They need to coincide with their existence. I think...
Do you mean coexist?
Yes.
Yeah. I get to correct you. I love it when I get to correct you.
I realised after I said it, I was like, that's not the right way.
Never get to do it a lot, but
No,
I
it's a
love
rare
it when I do.
occasion. Thank you for you at home and wherever you're listening, getting to be a part of this historic
Michael got
moment.
it wrong. Michael got it wrong.
But yeah, because I think being able to listen to somebody in person who's actually walking you through things, who can answer your questions directly as best,
some humanity stuff.
as best they can, is the way to go. But I mean, we've all done it and we all enjoy it of when we do actually get to go home and not necessarily do homework, but like if we have a question and a deeper question or want to understand things a bit more, we can go online and do that in our own time, and we can look into depth about certain things. And so, as an example, I mean, it's not quite teaching, but trying to make a Dungeons and Dragons character. It's a fantastic example because I know I'm not the only one, and I know at least Ben does the same. And that's where trying to read how to make a character is doable, but I prefer to still go online and go on the same YouTube tutorial, who's the guy walking me through how to do it. And when you look at it on how they're both pretty much doing the same job, it's as you say, even though that is kind of still computerish, it's the human part of it that makes it better to understand.
Yeah. You actually listen to people when it's human.
And so my answer, and I mean, it's the same as where, I mean, the age-old one, I guess, is people saying, when someone although there's someone in school who's trying to explain something, but you can't understand it, and you go and watch one person on YouTube who will like sum it up in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It's something where I don't think you can have one without the other.
That's different. That's still using a person. Say so having like a computer tell you how to do the times table, or the teacher like turning on a computer and putting something on. You still have a teacher there because a computer can't tell you off. I think if a computer is just teaching a class, say like it just tells you on a screen and then you write it down, the kids just won't pay attention.
Yeah.
You need someone to go. All right.
Well, no, but that's what I mean is when you are doing that in person and you are like, say you're in a lecture or in a classroom or whatever, and you're hearing something, you're like, okay, I've got this, but I don't understand this or whatever. But then if you go away by yourself and let the computer then tell you how to do that, it's...
All right, we've got 5 more. Yes or no? Yes or no?
What was the question?
Can we replace teachers with computers?
No, they need to coexist.
I agree. Oh, I'm trying not to sneeze. Is exploring space really important? Before you say, so you got things like we haven't really explored the ocean.
No, isn't there something like there's like 90-something% of the ocean remains unexplored.
Had that in the first podcast ages ago. One of like episode 3 or something.
Well, yeah, I think that was somewhat a question that you've asked before and it probably was a fact folder one of, should we be exploring other planets or something?
Is it important to explore space?
I think it is important. I think it is. I think we do need to explore space.
Why?
I think we need to explore space because we need to have a deeper understanding of why we are here. And it's like, again, it's
There's
one
no
of those.
reason why we're here. It's because one planet got lucky in the Goldilocks zone and boom, bada beep.
Yes, but that's
Evolution.
that is the science thing of things. At one point there was nothing, and then there was something.
Yeah, it's called
And
the Big
so,
Bang.
how big does this something go? And I think it was actually only this week, actually, of time of recording. So I hope maybe some more has come about it by the time this has gone out. But I think there has been the first picture released of a planet that's like outside a certain zone or something. And obviously, it's the most blurry thing in the world.
You only have I can't even say the word. The part of the universe you can only see.
Observable.
Yeah, that's it. Observable part of the universe, because that's where the light can only travel that far.
Yeah, and so that's why I can't remember how far away it is or what the area is, because obviously I had no idea this topic was coming. But that's what I mean, is how far does the universe go? And it's not something that's going to be solved in a day. It's not something that's probably going to be solved in our lifetime. But, I mean,
No.
when you look at our lifetime, in the last few years, what have we had happen? We found...
iPhones.
Well, talking more about space.
The PS4,
we've
banging
launched,
console.
We've launched so much into space. We had a satellite...
Oh, you're talking about space?
Yeah, or a probe that was landed
Dark matter.
on a comet. Yeah, we've got a better understanding of dark matter. There's the best picture ever of a black hole.
The Flat Earth Society.
We've got the James Webb telescope, and the improvements on those images compared to the Hubble. And the Hubble, obviously, fantastic pictures.
We did search
but the James one is great. And I think we need to understand space to have a better idea of what our planet is.
Okay, cool. So you're a yes for that?
Yes. Passionate yes.
Passionate yes.
I understand what you're saying, but we said before about the oceans, and yeah, we need to understand our planet itself, but I think we also need the context of our planet.
I think we should solve world hunger first, and
well, again,
all
that's a very different question. Yeah, very different question.
I still say they need to focus on flying cars, and then we can turn every single road into trees and grass, and then pollution will go.
I mean, it's not a bad idea. There are definitely some flaws in it, but they're definitely a good idea.
That's where we build the paths.
Okay.
Sorry,
right,
bad joke.
Jeez.
Are zoos beneficial to animals in any way?
I mean, I think they are. Not all. Not all animals.
Mine's a solid yes.
Well, they are beneficial.
Yeah.
I understand the whole thing about having them in captivity and, the larger animals who don't have a big enough enclosure and, it's not doing them any good. But that's probably the similar reason you're about to say, is that they do get a chance to survive then, especially if they're an endangered animal. And when was it? It was I think it was the pandas, maybe in Edinburgh Zoo. It was like the first time a panda's been born in this country, I think, in a long time, or something like that. Anyway, it's a big deal, and that was only able to happen because they could bring them together in a zoo.
Yeah, so my argument is breeding. Like Animal Park, the show, if you heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, where they breed animals and they're nice and happy, and we get to see them, as in on TV.
Which is where I think those are important, of where once they get to a stage where they can be released, they need to be released.
Which that's what I know. I don't know what the park's called or where it's located.
Yeah, but I know they do a similar thing. It's like not quite animal hospitals or whatever. It's like animal rehabilitation, and they bring an animal in until it's ready to go back out into the wild. Or
right, so I'm a yes, you're a maybe.
I'm a maybe. Well, I mean, it depends on the animal. Some animals don't deserve to be in captivity if they're purely there for the amusement of people. But if they're there for a study, or like you say, for breeding especially, it's very important for them.
Okay, moving on. If you're happy to.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to move on.
All right, what is the need to have Olympics?
What's the need to have Olympics?
Yeah, that's how it's worded.
Oh, this is an interesting question. So tell me what you mean by that.
Well, I wrote this a long time ago, so I'm gonna guess how I past Matt.
I mean, I can probably guess exactly what you're saying.
So what's the point?
I kind of want to know where the question's
almost coming from. I already know the answer.
From.
I just thought the answer. What's the point of competing loads of countries against each other in one area? Because it can spread disease, does more crime.
Does it do more crime?
And it probably just does more stuff.
Have you got stats to back that up?
Yeah, it's on the back.
I think that it is important. I think the Olympics and things like these games that bring countries together. Because the thing is, unless I don't watch the Olympics in its entirety because I think we
Neither
spoke
do I.
before. I do enjoy watching the Marble Olympics, and they're coming out soon this year again. But
Okay.
I think it's good for bringing the countries together, and I don't think I've ever really seen a case of where. How do I say this? Do you know who won the most gold in the last Olympics?
Sweden.
Was it Sweden?
Oh, you don't know?
It's not Sweden, Matt.
Oh, do you know?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I don't.
Yeah, well,
Who is it?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think it was China. It was either China or the US or us. But
Russia.
my point is, we don't remember that because although it's important that when someone from your country has won something, when all the people from the UK in our eyes, when someone from the UK has won something gold, we're like, yeah, they've won gold. That's fantastic. Woo, that's great. But it's never actually about what country is the best in the world.
No, because no one cares.
Because I think the fact that it's bringing people together is more important. I think, when was it? It was a few years ago, and I'm sure it was North Korea, and they had an athlete from there. And I think when they were in their closing ceremony, they properly cried because they knew what they'd be going back home to after all of this. And so that
In 2020, yeah.
that shows how, I don't think it was 2020.
Oh, I know who won the most gold.
But I think I think that shows how much the actual events and the collaboration and the meeting of people and being in similar minds. It's a bit like Eurovision, in a way. I think Eurovision does bring people together. Granted,
Yeah.
I mean we came second in the last one. I know the one before that
the UK would never win.
we scored absolutely zero.
Yeah.
But I think it's about bringing people together, and even if some people don't like it, I think the vast majority do. But who won gold in the last Olympics? Was it the US, China, or yes?
It was the UK. Sorry, United States.
It was the US. Yeah.
US.
Hey.
Hey.
Yeah.
I,
Your opinion.
Yeah, I think it is like I said, I answered the question in my head when I was saying. I was trying to think negatives. It's tourism for the country.
I guess so.
That's literally probably why it's so.
So
popular.
for the one that's hosting it, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in 2020, Japan hosted it and got loads of money.
I think there are definitely more benefits than just tourism, but
I think that's the main one why it's still around to this day. I bet that's the main one.
okay.
And probably to look the best as well. But I think it's tourism. Everyone does it for money. Okay, next one. Does there need to be a change in the age for voting? I wish I writ what age you can vote at. I've actually never voted.
It's either 16 or 18 in the UK.
I don't know.
I
Never
think
voted.
it was changing, or I don't know if it's going
Never
ahead. I don't think it's going ahead, but I think the government at one stage wanted to change it to 21 or 25. But I
Yeah.
think 16 is too young.
I think 16 is too young.
I think 18 is...
I think you should be working for 3 years to vote, personally. And driving.
I would disagree with that. I disagree with that. I think 21, yes, you should be voting by 21. 18 is on the fence. I think yes, because you are a young person and the decisions
Thank
that you are about to make, or the decisions that are about to go ahead, are going to impact your life from here on out.
How?
Well, then when you're 18, the decisions that the government or whoever you're voting for is about to happen, you are a young person coming into that.
Have they impacted you?
Yes,
How?
greatly, Matt.
How?
Brexit, the Prime Minister that
How
we've
has that
currently
affected
just had
you
who's now left
personally?
office.
How has that affected you personally?
Financial struggles, Matt.
I think
Boris
that's just
Johnson was
your-
telling us to spend £20 on a kettle to save £10 a year.
Well, we got free meals.
We're going to freeze this winter, Matt.
Well, get a blanket.
And that's why I think,
Stop spending it on kettles.
I
and
think
get a blanket.
young people need to vote. I think 18 is borderline. I think yes, because you are going into a time that is going to impact you. But at the same time, I get what some people say of, well, I guess you are still a little bit too young, depending on what the matter is. If I had to have a solid answer, I'd say yes, vote at 18. But 16, I think, is too young to vote.
Yeah.
Because I think because by the time they are 18 or they are at that age where they're moving out, getting jobs and things, if they are doing that when they're 18, I think that a new topic of voting will be out by then for them, if that makes sense.
Should you hear my opinion?
I want to know your opinion.
I don't care. I don't care.
I knew
if
it was going to
changes.
be one sentence for you.
Yeah, I don't care if it changes or if it stays the same. Still won't vote. Unless I'm forced to. Okay, next one, last one.
Yeah, we'll go into the last one.
Is there a need to have junk food in school cafeteria? And I'm spent.
He's chucked the card away.
I need that back.
Well, whilst Matt's... Oh, you're going to go and grab it now?
Oh, I will. Very quietly.
Right,
Answer the question, please.
So, is food like that in... Do we need that in cafeterias? Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. I mean, we need levels... Well, we need levels of fat on our bodies anyway.
Yeah, but you get that from healthy food as well. So let me sit back down.
Well, you do and you don't. You know, it's... You do need sugary stuff. You do need fatty stuff. I think giving children the option of it is a good idea, but I think, you know, where schools do have different things on different days, like, it's Fish and Chip Friday, you know, and they do other...
Oh, yeah, I could get behind having it for one
like
day.
That, you know, I think...
Shush. I can understand have it for one day, but not every day. Do you agree?
What, have fatty foods every day?
Yeah.
But again, if it's one meal a day, you don't know what else they're having for the rest of the day. You know, they might be a family who literally only lives on leaves and vegetables, and so they come into school like, thank God,
they'll probably only get
chicken in here.
Probably,
God, chicken nuggets, wonderful. And then they go home and have more leaves. You know,
no, they probably only get leaves and vegetables in their packed lunch or something.
Well, that's where if they can always have packed lunch. That's the thing. Is it? Well, I know it's not an option for all families. I know some families are struggling. Or do struggle to give their children a proper packed lunch.
True, definitely not listening.
But I think
to this podcast,
I think they, I think they should. I think they should serve fatty foods.
Okay, that's not what I thought your opinion would be.
I don't think everything should be healthy in the world. I think you need to...
Oh, yeah, I agree with that.
Because I think at a young age, it gives you that understanding as well. I know you might disagree in that at a young age, you're just like, oh, whoa, burgers! And like nothing else goes through your head, apart from num burgers. But I think it is important to have that at a young age. I think if at a young age you are getting the fat and sugar and stuff into your body, then I think that it's not entirely a bad thing.
I agree. We should move kebab houses into schools so they can have chicken and chips for their meals.
Wait, are you really on the side of having fatty stuff? Or
yeah, chicken and chips.
Oh, so you just want chicken and chips all day?
Yeah, in school. Yeah.
Okay.
They'll have like the normal cafeteria, and then there'll just be like a side area where it'll just be chicken and chips.
Oh, so you want to have school canteen, but you also want to have a Nando's next to it?
No, in the school. They're not Nando's. They'll be too expensive.
Sorry, Morley's.
Chicken and chips. Yeah, Morley. I had a lovely Morley's the other day. Oh.
Okay, so you're going to have 3 options then for school dinners in this canteen. You're going to have the packed lunches, you're going to have the school canteen, and then you're going to have Morley's.
Yeah.
Right.
Guess where all the kids are going to go?
Morley's.
Wrong, because it's going to be packed with all the kids. So only about 50 of them will get their nuggets, and that will all be the older years, so it will all be the sixth formers. They will fill out the Morleys. Shut up, chair. Stop disagreeing with me. So all the Morleys will be full up with sixth formers. They won't let anyone else in. There will be a bouncer at the door to the Morleys.
No, let me see your wristband. You got a wristband? Yeah.
I've got a strip of chicken. Oh, give me that. Maybe like feed them, like throwing chicken out.
I mean, it started off so... sometimes you say stuff that is so genius it does make me ponder my existence.
You're welcome.
But I kind of get what you mean. Of where... When you see like a long queue somewhere, you're like, oh, well, I'm just going to have something else because I'm not going to go and queue up in it. But you are still going to have, then say that's 50% of the people then still having fatty foods.
Yeah. So how would you fix that then? Because the same
you've
people
now
would go.
Yeah, you created a problem that has simultaneously solved the problem and somehow not changed anything at all.
And do you know what we call that?
What?
A compromise.
Okay.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. I'm Matt, here with Michael.
Same time next week. Hey, thanks for listening to our podcast. Don't forget to give that follow or subscribe button a click so you don't miss out on any future episodes. And why not check out our Twitter and Discord too, where we post updates, behind the scenes stuff, and just general other news about the show. Links in the description below. Got any topics or questions you think need a proper answer or have yet to even be asked? Drop it in the comments below or send us a tweet. Until next time.